The emergency alarms echoed through the Galactic Council chambers. Ambassador Ji-won Kim stood perfectly still as chaos erupted around her. Dozens of alien species representatives shouted in their native languages. Their translation devices struggled to keep up with the noise. High Arbiter Thelvar raised all four of his crystalline arms. The ancient being's body glowed bright blue. Silence fell across the massive chamber. His voice came out like grinding stones. The session will come to order. Ji-won remained calm. She had been Earth's ambassador for 3 years now. She had seen the council panic before, but never like this. Something big had happened. She could feel it in the air. A holographic display appeared above the center of the chamber. It showed a star map of the Outer Rim territories. A red marker blinked urgently near a small yellow dot. That dot represented a human mining colony. Colony 7. Population: 800 miners and their families. Council member Vraxis stepped forward. The Korthan representative was 9 feet tall. His scales were deep purple and covered in scars. His species had ruled 17 worlds through military force. They were not known for kindness. The Korthan Empire's 7th fleet has been destroyed, Vraxis announced. His voice carried across the silent chamber. All 23 warships gone. Over 4,000 Korthan warriors dead. Murmurs spread through the council. Ji-won felt her heart beat faster, but she kept her face neutral. Commander Doyen Park stood behind her. He was her security detail. She heard him shift his weight slightly. He was nervous too. Who attacked them? Someone called out. Vraxis turned his large yellow eyes toward the human section. The humans did. The chamber exploded with noise again. Ji-won did not move. She waited. Let them talk. Let them assume. The truth would come out soon enough. Impossible. A delegate from the Thanari Collective said, "Humans have only been council members for 15 galactic years. They are a minor species. Category 4 classification. We have a survivor," Vraxis continued. "One escape pod made it out. The warrior inside told us everything. A single human vessel destroyed our entire fleet." Laughter came from several directions. The idea seemed ridiculous to them. Ji-won understood why. Human ships were small compared to Council warships. Earth had joined the Galactic Council as a new species. They had accepted the bottom-tier classification without complaint. Most species saw humans as weak, peaceful, no threat at all. "Show us the recording," Thelvar commanded. The hologram changed. Grainy video footage appeared. It showed the black emptiness of space near Colony 7. 23 massive Korthan warships moved in formation. They were approaching a small asteroid cluster where the human miners worked. Then a single ship appeared on screen. It was a human freighter, old model, probably 50 years in service, the kind of ship that carried grain or medical supplies between colonies. The Korthan fleet opened fire first. Ji-won watched carefully. She needed to see this part. Hundreds of energy weapons lit up the darkness. They all targeted the small human ship. The human vessel moved. It twisted and turned in ways that should not have been possible for a cargo ship. Every shot missed. Then the human ship fired back. What happened next made the entire council chamber fall silent. Bright blue streaks shot from the human vessel. They moved faster than the Korthan weapons. Much faster. The first shot hit a Korthan battleship directly. The massive warship's shields failed instantly. The hull split open. Atmosphere vented into space. The ship went dark. Another shot. Another Korthan ship destroyed. Then another. And another. The human freighter moved through the Korthan formation like a dancer. It was graceful, precise, deadly. In less than 4 minutes, all 23 Korthan warships were either destroyed or disabled. Dead in space, the recording ended. Nobody spoke. Ji-won counted to 10 in her head. Then she stepped forward. "Ambassador Kim," Thelvar said. His voice was careful now. "Do you wish to respond to these accusations?" "The Korthan fleet entered human territory without permission," Ji-won said. Her voice was clear and steady. "They approached Colony 7 with weapons charged. They fired first. The miners defended themselves. This is allowed under Article 7 of the Council Charter. The right to self-defense." "Self-defense?" Vraxis roared. He pointed one clawed finger at her. "You destroyed an Imperial fleet. That is an act of war." "You attacked civilians," Ji-won replied calmly. "Miners, people with families. What did you expect them to do? Surrender?" Let you take them as slaves? We demand reparations, Vraxis shouted. We demand Earth be sanctioned. We demand— You demand nothing, Jiwan interrupted. Her voice was still calm, but now it carried steel beneath the softness. Your fleet attacked human citizens. They defended themselves. If you want war with Earth, Council Member Vraxis, then say it clearly. Say you want war. See what happens. The chamber went quiet again. Jiwan knew she was taking a risk. Earth was one planet. The Korthan Empire controlled 17 worlds. But she also knew something the Council did not understand yet. Something they would learn soon enough. Humans did not build cargo ships that could not defend themselves. Not anymore. Commander Doyen stepped closer to her. He whispered quietly. Ambassador, perhaps we should request a recess. Jiwan shook her head slightly. No retreat. Not now. Thelvar's crystalline body flickered between colors, blue to purple to deep red. He was thinking, calculating the High Arbiter was old, very old. He had seen species rise and fall. He knew when something fundamental had changed. The Council will investigate this incident, Thelvar finally announced. Until the investigation is complete, human vessels are suspended from Council trading routes. This is temporary, for security purposes only. Several Council members nodded. Others looked uncertain. Vraxis looked furious. Earth accepts this decision, Jiwan said. She bowed her head slightly to Thelvar. We welcome a full investigation. The truth will show that Colony 7 acted lawfully. However, she continued, raising her head to look directly at Vraxis, let me be very clear. Any further military action against human colonies, human ships, or human citizens will be met with appropriate response. We did not seek this conflict, but we will not run from it either. Vraxis's scales darkened. Is that a threat, human? It is a fact, Jiwan replied. Earth is a peaceful species. We believe in diplomacy, in cooperation. We have followed Council law since the day we joined, but we also believe in protecting our people. Always. She turned to address the entire Council now. That freighter at Colony 7 was not a warship. It was a cargo vessel. Modified for defense, yes, but still just a freighter. The miners inside were not soldiers. They were workers, families, and they destroyed your fleet because you gave them no choice. Think about what that means, she said softly. Think carefully. The chamber remained silent. Jiwan could see the understanding slowly spreading across different faces. Different species. Different forms. But all starting to realize the same thing. If a human cargo ship could destroy 23 warships, what could an actual human warship do? Thelvar dismissed the council session. As the representatives filed out, many of them looked at Jiwan differently now. Some with respect. Some with fear. Some with both. Commander Doyen waited until they were alone in the corridor. That went better than expected, he said. No, Jiwan replied quietly. That was just the beginning. Vraxis will not accept this. The Korthan Empire does not forgive. They will push for military action. Against Earth? Jiwan nodded. They think we are weak because we are small. Because we are new. They do not understand yet. Should we warn Earth Defense Command? They already know, Jiwan said. She looked out the window at the stars beyond the station. Somewhere out there was Earth. Home. Admiral Hyunwoo has been preparing for this since the day we joined the Council. He knew someone would test us eventually. And if the Council votes for military action? Doyen asked. Jiwan smiled. It was not a happy smile. Then the Council will learn why Earth has survived so long. Why we made it to the stars despite everything that tried to stop us. They will learn what it means to provoke humanity. She turned away from the window. Come, we have reports to file, and warnings to send to our colonies. Things are about to get very complicated. As they walked through the station corridors, neither of them noticed the small insectoid figure watching from the shadows. Council member Illis had heard everything. And the Thanari delegate was very, very worried. 3 weeks had passed since the incident at Colony 7. The investigation was complete. Ambassador Ji-won Kim sat in her private office reviewing the final report. Everything confirmed what she already knew. The Korthan fleet had entered human space illegally. They had fired first. The human miners had acted in self-defense. It did not matter. A soft chime announced a visitor. Envoy Mirai Cho entered the office. She was young, only 26, but brilliant. Her mind worked faster than most people could follow. She carried a data tablet and looked worried. They have the votes, Mirai said without greeting. Vraxis convinced them. Jiwan set down the report. How many? 24 species support military action. 23 oppose. The vote happens tomorrow. Which species voted for war? Mirai pulled up a list on her tablet. Mostly Korthan allies and trade partners. Some smaller species who fear looking weak. A few who genuinely believe Earth is a threat to Council stability. Jiwan stood and walked to her window. Axis Prime rotated slowly below the station. A beautiful world. Neutral territory. She wondered if it would stay neutral after tomorrow. The investigation proved we were right, she said. Why does it not matter to them? Because Warlord Kreth is calling it a matter of honor, Mirai replied. The Korthan people demand revenge. Vraxis cannot back down without losing face, and once the Korthan pushed for military action, others felt pressured to join them. How big is the fleet they are assembling? Mirai checked her tablet again. Her hand shook slightly. 4,000 warships. 11 species contributing vessels. It is the largest coalition fleet in Council history. 4,000. Jiwan felt the weight of that number. Earth's entire defense fleet numbered around 2,000 ships, and many of those were scattered across dozens of colonies. The odds were not good. Have you contacted Admiral Hyunwoo? Jiwan asked. Yes, he says Earth Defense Command is ready. He wants to know if we should recall our civilian ships from Council space. Yes, immediately. All human civilians should leave Council territory within 48 hours. Mirai made a note. Then she hesitated. Ambassador, can we really win this? 4,000 ships against us? Jiwan turned to face her young colleague. Mirai, do you know why I chose you for my diplomatic team? Because I scored highest in the foreign service exams? No, because you think differently than others. So think now. Really think. What do you know about human military technology? Mirai considered the question. We do not talk about it much. The Council classifications list our weapons as Category 4. Basic energy weapons. Simple kinetic shields. Nothing special. And what destroyed the Korthan 7th Fleet? A cargo ship with defensive modifications. Exactly, Jiwan said. A cargo ship. Not a warship. Not even a military vessel. Just a freighter with some extra equipment. Understanding slowly appeared on Mirai's face. Oh no. They do not know, do they? The Council does not really understand what we can do. No, Jiwan confirmed. They do not. And tomorrow they will vote to attack Earth based on bad information, based on assumptions, based on the belief that we are weak. Should we tell them? Show them what our real military can do? Jiwan shook her head. Warlord Kreth will not believe us. He will think we are bluffing. Better to let them learn the hard way. A message alert appeared on Mirai's tablet. She read it quickly. The vote is scheduled for 1000 hours tomorrow. Full Council assembly. We are expected to attend. We will be there, Jiwan said. Make sure Commander Doyen prepares security. Things might get hostile. Mirai left to handle the arrangements. Jiwan sat alone in her office as artificial night fell over the station. She opened a secure communication channel to Earth. The encryption took several seconds to establish. Then Admiral Hyunwoo Lee's face appeared on her screen. The Admiral was in his early 60s. Gray hair, weathered face, eyes that had seen too many battles. He looked tired but alert. Ambassador, he greeted her. I heard about the vote. They are coming, Admiral. 4,000 ships, let them come, Hyunwoo replied. His voice was calm, too calm. We are ready? Can we win? Hyunwoo smiled slightly. Jiwan, do you remember the last time someone seriously threatened Earth? The Sino-American crisis of 2089. Before the unification. I was not born yet. We had nuclear weapons pointed at each other, enough to destroy the entire planet 10 times over. Everyone thought the world would end. But you know what happened instead. The Global Defense Initiative formed. Humanity united. Yes, because we realized something important. Our real enemies were not each other. Our real enemies were out here. He gestured vaguely at the stars around him. We knew other species existed. We knew they might be hostile. So we prepared. For 130 years we have prepared? The Council thinks our weapons are basic, Jiwan said. Good. Let them think that. The Category 4 classification was something we accepted deliberately. Better to be underestimated. What should I tell them tomorrow? When they vote for war? Hyunwoo leaned back in his chair. Tell them the truth. Tell them Earth does not want war. Tell them we will defend ourselves if attacked. Be honest, be clear. Give them every chance to back down. And if they do not back down, then Earth Defense Fleet will teach them a lesson they will never forget. The communication ended. Ji-won tried to sleep but could not. She kept thinking about what was coming. 4,000 ships, thousands of alien warriors, all coming to attack Earth. The next morning arrived too quickly. The council chamber was packed. Every species had sent representatives. Some had sent multiple delegates. Everyone wanted to witness this historic vote. Ambassador Ji-won entered with Mirai and Commander Doyen. The crowd parted as they walked to the human section. She could feel eyes on her. Some curious, some hostile, some afraid. High Arbiter Thelvar called the session to order. His crystalline body glowed deep purple. The investigation into the Colony 7 incident is complete. The evidence clearly shows the Korthan fleet entered human space without authorization. The Korthan fleet fired first. The human response falls within the boundaries of legal self-defense under Article 7. Vraxis stood immediately. The law does not matter. The Korthan Empire lost 4,000 warriors, 23 ships. This cannot go unpunished. The law always matters, Thelvar replied coldly. That is why we have laws. Then change the law. Vraxis shouted. Humanity is dangerous. One cargo ship destroyed an Imperial fleet. Imagine what a real human military could do. They must be controlled. They must be disarmed. Murmurs of agreement came from parts of the chamber. Ji-won remained seated, not yet. Let them talk themselves into it. Council member Elis rose from the Thanari section. The insectoid's wings buzzed nervously. Perhaps we should ask the humans to explain their military capabilities. Before we vote on military action, what is there to explain? Another delegate called out. We saw the footage. We know what they can do. Do we? Elis pressed. Do we really understand? Enough debate, Vraxis declared. I call for the vote. Will the Council authorize a coalition military force to enforce demilitarization of human space, to ensure the safety of all Council species? Thelvar looked unhappy but nodded. The vote is called. All in favor of military action? Ji-won watched as the votes appeared on the holographic display. One by one. 24 species voted yes. She recognized most of them. Korthan allies. Species who owed the Korthan Empire favors. Some who genuinely feared Earth's military power. All opposed? 23 votes against, close but not enough. The motion passes, Thelvar announced. The Council authorizes a coalition fleet to enter human space and enforce demilitarization. Humanity has 7 days to surrender their military vessels and submit to Council inspection. Finally, Ji-won stood. The chamber went quiet. She walked to the center speaking platform. Her steps echoed in the silence. High Arbiter, honored Council members, I stand before you today with a heavy heart. Her voice carried clearly through the vast chamber. Earth did not seek this conflict. We defended our people. We followed your laws. And now you vote to invade our home, to demand our surrender. You leave us no choice, Vraxis shouted. There is always a choice, Ji-won replied. She turned to face him directly. You could choose peace. You could choose to respect our sovereignty. You could choose to learn from this incident instead of seeking revenge. She turned back to address the full council. But you have made your choice. So now I make mine. Earth rejects your demand. We will not surrender. We will not disarm. If your coalition fleet enters human space with hostile intent, they will be destroyed. Laughter came from several delegates. The idea seemed absurd to them. How could one species defeat 4,000 ships? You threaten the entire council? Someone called out. No, Ji-won said firmly. We defend ourselves. There is a difference. If your fleets stay away from human space, they will be safe. But if they come to attack us, to conquer us, to enslave us, she paused, then they will learn what it means to threaten humanity. She looked at Elis. The Thanari delegate looked deeply worried. Good. At least someone understood. I beg you, Ji-won continued. Do not do this. I beg the species who voted for war to reconsider. Send your ambassadors to Earth, see our world. Talk to our people. Learn who we really are before you try to destroy us. 7 days, Vraxis repeated. Surrender or face total military defeat. Ji-won nodded slowly. The coalition fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. 4,000 warships arranged in perfect formation. The largest military force ever assembled by the Galactic Council. Fleet Commander Vraxis stood on the bridge of his flagship. He looked at the tactical display with satisfaction. Scan for human vessels, he ordered. His sensor officer worked quickly. Sir, I am detecting 247 human ships. They are in loose formation around Mars' orbit. Vraxis laughed. The sound was harsh and cruel. 247 against 4,000. They are insane. Sir, should we transmit the surrender demand? Yes, let them hear it. Let them understand how foolish they have been. The message went out across all frequencies. Vraxis's voice echoed through the system. Human forces. This is Fleet Commander Vraxis of the Galactic Council Coalition. You are outnumbered 20-1. You have violated Council law by refusing to disarm. Surrender your vessels immediately or be destroyed. You have 1 hour to comply. On the bridge of the EDS Indomitable, Captain Sun Mi-han listened to the demand. Her ship was a frigate, small compared to the massive Korthan battleships, but fast, very fast. She looked at her tactical officer. Did they really say 1 hour? She asked. Yes, Captain. How generous. Sun Mi opened a channel to Admiral Hyun-woo. Admiral, they gave us an hour to surrender. Admiral Hyun-woo's face appeared on her screen. He was on the bridge of the EDS Defiant, the flagship of Earth Defense Fleet. I heard. What do you think, Captain? I think they are stalling. Looking at our formation, trying to understand our strategy. And what is our strategy? Sun Mi smiled. It was not a nice smile. We do not have one. We are going hunting. Correct. All ships maintain formation. Let them think we are confused. Let them think we are afraid. On the Coalition observation vessel, Council member Wireless watched both fleets on the holographic display. The Thanari delegates' wings buzzed with anxiety. Something felt wrong. The human formation looked casual, almost lazy. No defensive perimeter, no battle lines. Just ships scattered around Mars like they were waiting for something. They should be running, Illis said to no one in particular. Why are they not running? A human transmission came through. Admiral Hyun-woo's voice was calm and professional. Coalition forces, you have entered Sol system with hostile intent. This is human sovereign space. You are ordered to power down your weapons and retreat immediately. If you do not comply, you will be destroyed. Laughter erupted on Vraxis's bridge. His officers thought it was hilarious. 200 ships threatening 4,000, impossible. Destroyed, Vraxis repeated. You will be destroyed, human. Your arrogance ends today. So be it, Hyun-woo replied. All human vessels weapons free. Execute Protocol Defender. Sun Mi felt her heart race as the order came through. Finally, 3 weeks of waiting. 3 weeks of preparation. Now it was time to show the Council what humans could really do. Tactical target priority? She asked. Korthan vessels first, Captain. Everything else gets 1 warning shot. Helm full acceleration. Take us into their formation. The Indomitable surged forward. Its engines burned bright blue. Behind it, 246 other human ships followed. They moved fast, much faster than the Coalition expected. On Vraxis's bridge, alarms started blaring. Sir, the human ships are accelerating. They are coming straight at us. All ships open fire. Destroy them. The Coalition fleet unleashed everything. Thousands of energy weapons lit up space. Plasma bolts, laser cannons, particle beams, all converging on the approaching human vessels, and missing. The human ships twisted and turned through the incoming fire. Their movements were impossible. Too fast, too precise. Ships that should have been hit by dozens of shots simply were not there when the weapons arrived. How are they doing that? Vraxis roared. His tactical officer stared at the display in disbelief. Sir, their reaction time is too fast. It is like they know where we are going to shoot before we fire. They did know. Human AI systems predicted targeting solutions milliseconds before Coalition weapons fired. Human pilots had neural interfaces that let them think the ship into motion. Human sensor arrays detected energy buildups in enemy weapons before they discharged. The Coalition was fighting with technology from 200 years ago. Earth had moved on. Sun Mi's ship reached weapon range. Fire, she said calmly. The Indomitable's main gun discharged. A single shot. Pure kinetic energy. A tungsten rod accelerated to 30% of light speed. It hit a Korthan battleship in the center mass. The shields did not slow it down at all. They were not designed to stop solid matter moving that fast. The battleship split in half. Both pieces tumbled away. Atmosphere venting into space. Target destroyed, her tactical officer reported. Acquiring next target. All across the battlefield, human ships opened fire. Blue streaks of light crossed the darkness. Each shot found a target. Each target died. Coalition ships that had ruled the galaxy for centuries were torn apart like paper. "Sir, we have lost 50 ships," Braxis's sensor officer shouted. "No, wait. 75. The count keeps climbing. Return fire. Concentrate all weapons on single targets." But the human ships would not stay still. They moved through the coalition formation like ghosts. Every time a coalition ship tried to target one, it was already somewhere else. And every time a human ship fired, a coalition vessel died. On Earth, deep underground, Dr. Junho Nam watched the battle through orbital sensor feeds. He was the lead scientist for the Defense Research Division. His mass driver network had just come online. Hundreds of orbital platforms positioned throughout the solar system. Each one loaded with tungsten rods. Each one capable of accelerating projectiles to incredible speeds, "Sir," his assistant said. "Admiral Hyunwoo is requesting fire support." "Which targets?" "All of them." Junho smiled and pressed the authorization code. "Fire at will." Throughout the Sol system, the platforms activated. Electromagnetic accelerators hummed to life. Tungsten rods launched, silent, invisible, moving at 30% of light speed. On Vraxis's bridge, new alarms started screaming. "Sir, multiple projectiles incoming." "Thousands of them." "From where?" "Everywhere. They are coming from orbital platforms around the system. Evasive action." But there was no evading. The projectiles moved too fast. A Corthan destroyer took 3 hits in 2 seconds. It disintegrated. A cruiser from the Velnorian fleet tried to raise shields. The tungsten rod punched through like the shield was not even there. The ship exploded. Within 10 minutes, 300 coalition ships were destroyed or disabled. The survivors started to panic. Several species broke formation and ran. Lieutenant Eunji Kwan watched from her station on the Indomitable. This was her first real battle. She had trained for years. But training did not prepare you for this. For the reality of ships dying, of people dying, "Captain," she said quietly, "the Thanari ships are retreating. So are the Velnorians. And the Graxis Confederation vessels." Sunmi checked her tactical display. "Confirmed. 8 of the 11 coalition species are withdrawing. Should we pursue?" "No, let them go." They learned their lesson. Focus on the Corthan ships and anyone still shooting at us. The battle continued for 6 hours. Human ships hunted down every coalition vessel that refused to retreat. The Corthan Empire had contributed the most ships to the coalition. Now they paid the price. Their warriors refused to surrender, refused to run. Their honor demanded they fight to the death. So they died. Admiral Hyunwoo watched the tactical display from his command chair. Human casualties were mounting. Not many, but every loss hurt. Every name on the casualty list was someone's son or daughter. Someone's parent or spouse, "Sir," his communications officer said. "The Corthan flagship is requesting to speak with you." "Put him through." Vraxis appeared on the main screen. His bridge was damaged. Smoke filled the air behind him. His scales were dark with rage and shame. "You have won, Admiral. My fleet is broken." "Then surrender," Hyunwoo replied. "Order your remaining ships to power down. We will retrieve your survivors." "Retrieve?" Vraxis looked confused. "You would save us? After we attacked you?" "We destroy machines. We save lives. That is what humans do." "I do not understand you. You do not need to understand. You just need to stop fighting." Vraxis was quiet for a long moment. Around him, his bridge crew worked frantically to save their dying ship. Finally, he nodded. "Very well. All Corthan vessels cease fire. Power down weapons." The shooting stopped. Silence fell across the Sol system. Debris floated everywhere. Thousands of escape pods drifted through space. Human rescue ships immediately moved to recover them. Lieutenant Eunji watched as the Indomitable approached a cluster of Corthan escape pods. "Captain, permission to speak?" "Granted." "Why are we saving them?" "They came here to destroy us." Sunmi turned to look at her young officer. "Because that is what separates us from them, Lieutenant. We fight when we must. We kill when we have no choice. But we do not let people die when we can save them, even our enemies. Especially our enemies, because someday they might become our friends." The rescue operations took 3 days. Human ships recovered over 60,000 coalition survivors. Most of them were Corthan. They were treated for injuries, given food and water, placed in temporary shelters on Luna and Mars. The Corthan warriors could not understand it. They had come to conquer Earth. The Galactic Council chamber had never been this quiet. High Arbiter Thelvar stood at the center, his crystalline body flickering between colors rapidly. Stress, fear, uncertainty, all visible in the changing light patterns. Every council species had sent representatives. They came to watch the footage, all of it. Every moment of the battle in Sol system. Elis had transmitted everything. Now they would see what humanity really was. The holographic display activated. Space appeared above them. The coalition fleet jumped in. 4,000 ships, strong, confident, ready to enforce the Council's will. Then the human response. 247 ships in loose formation, looking almost casual, almost careless. The surrender demand from Vraxis. The human counter-demand. Then the shooting started. The Council watched in silence as human ships tore through their fleet. Ships that moved like nothing they had ever seen. Weapons that struck from impossible distances. Projectiles that traveled at speeds that should not have been possible. 300 coalition ships destroyed in the first 10 minutes. 8 species immediately retreating, only the Korthan and their most loyal allies continuing to fight. The footage continued. 6 hours of combat, human ships hunting down every vessel that refused to surrender. The final Korthan flagship going dark. Vraxis' surrender and then the rescue. Human ships gathering escape pods, treating wounded enemies, feeding survivors, showing mercy to those who had come to destroy them. When the footage ended, nobody spoke. The chamber remained silent for a full minute. Then another. Finally, a delegate from the Graxis Confederation stood. How? The word came out as barely a whisper. How did we not know? Thelvar turned to face the human section. Ambassador Jiwan sat there calmly. Beside her were Envoy Mirai and Commander Doyun. They had arrived from Earth 2 days ago. Now they waited. Ambassador Kim, Thelvar said. His voice was carefully controlled. Perhaps you would like to explain. Jiwan stood and walked to the center platform. She moved slowly. Let them wait. Let them wonder. When she reached the speaking position, she looked around at all the delegates, all the species who had voted for war. You want to know how we won? She said. Not a question, a statement. You want to know why we did not tell you our real capabilities, why we accepted Category 4 classification, why we seem so weak? She paused. The answer is simple. We wanted to be left alone. Left alone? Someone shouted. You destroyed a coalition fleet. After you invaded our home, G1 replied calmly. After you demanded we surrender. After you gave us no choice. Yes, we destroyed your fleet. What did you expect us to do? Roll over? Submit? Become slaves? She turned to address Thelvar directly. High Arbiter, Earth joined the Galactic Council 15 years ago. We came in peace. We shared our culture, our art, our knowledge. We followed every law, paid every tax, treated every species with respect. And in return, she continued, you classified us as inferior. You restricted our trade. You limited where our ships could go. You treated us like children who needed supervision, but we accepted it. Because we believed in the Council's mission. We believed in cooperation between species. Then the Korthan attacked Colony 7. They tried to enslave our miners, our families, our children. We defended ourselves, as the law allows. And you voted to invade Earth for it. Vraxis was not present. He was on Earth still, a prisoner. But his second-in-command stood in the Korthan section. The warrior looked uncomfortable. The Korthan Empire acted to preserve order, the delegate said, to prevent a dangerous species from threatening the Council. Dangerous? G1 repeated. We are only dangerous to those who attack us, to those who threaten our people. Show me one time Earth started a war with another Council species. One time we invaded someone else's territory. One time we broke Council law. Silence. Because there were no examples. Earth had been a model member, until the moment the Council tried to conquer it. Ambassador Jiwan pulled up new data on the holographic display. This is Earth's real military classification. Not Category 4, Category 1+, advanced AI integration, relativistic kinetic weapons, neural interface piloting, quantum communication networks, medical technology 2 centuries ahead of Council standard. The numbers appeared. Ship counts, weapon capabilities, defense systems. The Council delegates stared in shock. 2,000 warships, Jiwan said. Not 200. 2,000. The Battle of Sol used 12% of our total military strength. 12% defeated 4,000 council ships. She let that sink in, watched as the implications spread across different faces, different species, all understanding the same terrible truth. Why hide this? Ellis asked. The Thanari delegate's voice was soft, almost sad. Why let us think you were weak? Because strong species get challenged, Jiwan replied. Earth studied council history before we joined. We saw the pattern. Every time a powerful new species joins, others test them, challenge them, start wars to establish dominance. We did not want that. We wanted peace. So we appeared weak, harmless, not worth fighting. It worked for 15 years, she continued. But Korthan pride could not accept even a weak human victory. So here we are. On Earth, in a medical facility on Luna, Warlord Kreth watched the council session through a holographic feed. The supreme military commander of the Korthan Empire was technically a prisoner, but Earth treated him like a guest. Private room, good food, medical care for his injuries from the battle. He did not understand these humans at all. A knock on his door. A human doctor entered. Dr. Sohee Park. She was young, early 30s. She had been treating Kreth's injuries for the past week. How is the arm? She asked in perfect Korthan. She had learned his language. To make him comfortable. Healing well, Kreth admitted. Your medical technology is impressive. Thank you. You should have full mobility back within a month. She checked his readings, made notes, then hesitated. Can I ask you something? Not as a doctor, just as someone curious. Ask, why did you push for war? After you saw what happened at Colony 7, after you knew what we could do. Kreth was quiet for a long moment, because I did not believe it. One cargo ship destroying a fleet? It seemed impossible. I thought there must be some trick, some weapon we did not understand. I thought if we brought enough ships we could overwhelm you. And now? Now I know the truth. There was no trick, just human technology, human skill. And we never had a chance, so he nodded. My brother died in the battle. He was on one of the destroyers. A Korthan missile got through the defenses. Kreth looked at her in surprise. Your brother? And yet you treat me? You did not kill my brother. The war did. The war that both our governments started. Both our species continued. I blame the war, not you personally. I ordered the attack. And my government could have found another way. Could have talked more, compromised more. There is enough blame for everyone. She finished her checkup. You will be released soon. Earth is sending all prisoners home. No ransom, no conditions. Just home. Why? Kreth asked. We invaded your world. We tried to destroy you. Because keeping you here accomplishes nothing. You need to go home. Tell your people what happened. Help them understand. Maybe prevent the next war. After she left, Kreth sat alone with his thoughts. The Korthan Empire had been so sure. So confident. They had ruled 17 worlds through military might. They had never lost a major battle, until now. Back at the council chamber, the discussion continued. Various delegates asked questions. About human technology, about military doctrine, about future intentions. Ambassador Jiwan answered honestly. Too late for secrets now. The galaxy knew the truth. Might as well be open about it. What does Earth want? Thelvar finally asked. The question everyone was thinking. Earth wants peace, Jiwan replied. We always have. But we also want respect. We want to be treated as equals, not as inferiors who need supervision. And if the council refuses, then we leave. Establish our own alliance. Trade with those who want to trade with us. Defend those who need defending. The galaxy is large. There is room for everyone. Envoy Mirai stood now. She had been preparing for this moment. Her entire career had been building toward it. The council faces a choice. The old system is broken. You have species classifications based on military power. Trade restrictions based on arbitrary rules. Decision-making controlled by the oldest, most established empires. She pulled up new documents. Earth proposes a new council charter. Equal representation for all members regardless of age or military power. Protection of sovereign rights. Collective defense agreements. Scientific cooperation programs. Free trade between willing partners. And if we reject these proposals, someone asked, then Earth leaves, Mirai said simply, and we invite any species who wants real equality to join us. We will build a new alliance, based on mutual respect and cooperation. Thelvar's body flickered through several colors. He was thinking, calculating. The High Arbiter was ancient. He had seen the Council through many crises, but never one quite like this. You would split the galaxy, he said. The galaxy is already split, Jiwan replied. Between those who want equality and those who want dominance. Between those who learn from mistakes and those who repeat them. We are just making it official. Admiral Hyunwoo appeared via holographic transmission. The military leader looked stern, professional. 30 days had passed. The council chamber was packed with more delegates than ever before. Every species wanted to witness this historic vote. Some hoped for change. Others feared it. All understood that nothing would be the same after today. Ambassador Jiwan Kim entered the chamber with her team. Envoy Mireille walked beside her, data tablet in hand. Commander Doyen followed, watchful as always. Behind them came two unexpected additions. Admiral Hyunwoo Lee in his full military uniform, and Prime Minister Tae-jin Kang, Earth's civilian leader. The Prime Minister was in his early 50s, gray hair, calm demeanor. He had led Earth through the Sol system crisis. Now he would speak to the galaxy. High Arbiter Thelvar's crystalline body glowed bright blue. The vote will proceed. First we hear final statements from Earth. Jiwan stepped forward, but Tae-jin raised a hand. If I may, Ambassador, this is too important. The people of Earth should speak through their elected leader. He moved to the center platform. The holographic cameras focused on him. His image was being broadcast to every council world. Billions of beings across the galaxy would watch this moment. Members of the Galactic Council, Tae-jin began, I stand before you not as a conqueror, but as someone who believes in cooperation, in shared prosperity, in peace between species. His voice was firm but not aggressive. 32 days ago, this council sent 4,000 warships to destroy my world, to conquer my people, to end humanity's freedom. We defeated that fleet, not through cruelty but through strength, not through hatred but through necessity. He paused. We could have done more. We could have pursued the retreating ships, destroyed them all. We could have struck back at council worlds, shown you the true extent of human military power, but we did not, because that is not who we are. The chamber was absolutely silent. Every eye, every sensor, every form of attention was focused on the human leader. Instead, we rescued your warriors. Over 60,000 survivors pulled from escape pods, treated in our hospitals, fed with our food. Some of them are still on Earth, recovering from injuries. We have harmed none of them. In 3 days, they all go home free, no conditions, no ransom. He looked directly at the Korthan section. Warlord Kreth returned to his homeworld yesterday. He carried a message from Earth. Not a message of revenge, but of hope. Hope that our species can learn from this, can move forward together. Prime Minister Tae-jin pulled up the proposed charter on the holographic display. This document represents a simple idea, that all species deserve equal representation, equal rights, equal protection. It does not matter if your species is ancient or new, large or small, powerful or peaceful. Everyone gets a voice. The old council system was built on dominance, he continued. The strong ruled. The weak obeyed. That system led to the War and Sol system. It will lead to more wars if it continues, because species like humanity will always defend themselves, will always refuse to be conquered. A delegate from the Graxis Confederation stood. Prime Minister, you speak of equality, but Earth has the strongest military in the galaxy. How do we know you will not use that power to dominate us? It was a fair question. Tae-jin nodded. Because we do not want to dominate anyone. Look at our history. Earth has 47 colony worlds. We could have claimed hundreds. We have advanced weapons technology. We could have sold it for profit. We have medical treatments that extend life by decades. We could have kept them secret. Instead, he said, we limited our expansion to respect other species' territory. We kept our weapons hidden to avoid provoking wars. And today I announce that Earth is opening our medical archives to the entire council. Every species. Free access. No cost. Shocked murmurs spread through the chamber. Medical technology was usually guarded closely. Species charged enormous fees for advanced treatments. But Earth was giving it away. Why? Someone asked. Because what good is long life if we spend it fighting? Tae-jin replied. What good is power if we use it to oppress? What good is knowledge if we hoard it? Humanity learned something important through our history. We learned that we are stronger together. That cooperation benefits everyone. Admiral Hyunwoo stepped forward now. His military bearing was evident in every movement. I am a soldier. I have spent 40 years defending Earth. I have seen wars, lost friends, buried too many good people. So when I speak about peace, understand that it comes from someone who knows the cost of war. He looked around the chamber. Earth Defense Command has 2,000 warships, advanced AI systems, weapons that can strike from light minutes away. We could conquer dozens of worlds if we wanted, but we do not want that. We want partners, allies, friends. However, his voice hardened slightly. We will defend ourselves, always. If another species attacks human citizens, they will face the same response the Corthan fleet did. We are not weak. We are not victims. We are a peaceful species that refuses to be conquered. That is the choice before you today. Admiral Hyunwoo continued. Accept the new charter. Accept equality for all species. Work with us to build something better. Or reject it and watch as the galaxy splits. Watch as species leave the council one by one. Watch your influence fade. He stepped back. Captain Sun Mi-han moved forward. She was not supposed to speak, but Admiral Hyunwoo had asked her to. She represented the young generation. The future. I am a ship captain, Sunmi said. I fought in the Battle of Seoul. I killed Corthan warriors, destroyed their ships. It was my duty, my job. But do you know what I remember most from that battle? She paused. I remember the escape pods. Thousands of them. Corthan warriors floating in space waiting to die. And I remember the order from Admiral Hyunwoo. Rescue them. Save them all, even though they had just tried to kill us. That is humanity. She said softly. We fight when we must, but we save who we can. Even our enemies. Especially our enemies. Because someday those enemies might become friends. Sunmi looked at the Corthan delegation. I know some of you hate us. For defeating your fleet. For humiliating your empire. I understand that. But I hope someday you will see that we gave you something more valuable than victory. We gave you your warriors back. We gave you a chance to change. To be better. She returned to the human section. Ji-won felt pride watching her people speak. They represented Earth well, all of them. Thelvar spoke again. Does any other species wish to address the council before the vote? Council member Elis stood. The Thanari delegate moved to the center platform. Her insectoid form seemed small compared to the massive chamber, but her voice carried clearly. The Thanari Collective supports Earth's charter. We have been a council member for 300 years. We have watched the old system create inequality, suffering, wars. We tried to speak against it, but we were too small, too weak. Nobody listened. She looked at the human delegation. Then Earth arrived. A new species, young, enthusiastic. We watched them follow every rule, respect every law. They were model members, and the council still classified them as inferior, still restricted their rights, still treated them as less. When the Corthan attacked them, Earth defended itself. That is all. Simple self-defense. And the council voted to invade their homeworld for it. That is when I knew the system was truly broken. Elis turned to face the full council. Earth defeated 4,000 ships with 200. They could have destroyed us all. Instead, they offered us this charter. A chance to reform. To improve. To become what the council should have been from the beginning. The Thanari vote yes. We stand with Earth. We stand for equality. We stand for change. Other delegates began to speak. Some for the charter, some against. The debate raged for hours. Old grievances were aired. New alliances formed. The council was transforming before everyone's eyes. Finally, Thelvar called for the vote. All species in favor of adopting Earth's proposed charter. The holographic display lit up with responses. Green lights for yes, red for no, yellow for abstaining. The count climbed slowly, 28 green lights. The species who had supported from the beginning. Then 29, 30, the minimum needed to pass. Then 31, 32. Species who had been undecided now chose change. 33, 34. When the count finished, 43 species had voted yes. Only 4 voted no. All of them close Corthan allies bound by old treaties and debts. The charter had passed. The old council system was ended. A new era had begun. The chamber erupted. Some delegates cheered. Others sat in stunned silence. The galaxy had just changed forever. Thelvar's crystalline body cycled through colors rapidly, finally settling on a deep warm gold acceptance. The vote has passed. The new charter is adopted. The Galactic Council is reformed. All species are now equal members with full rights and representation. He turned to face Ambassador Jiwan. Earth will take a permanent seat on the Security Council, along with the Thanari Collective, the Velnorian Alliance, and 2 other species to be determined by election. Thank you, High Arbiter, Jiwan said. She bowed slightly, respectful, grateful. Earth accepts this responsibility. We will work to ensure the Council protects all its members, not just the powerful. Prime Minister Taejin spoke again. As promised, Sol System is now reopened to all Council traffic. Human ships will resume normal trade routes. Our medical archives are being uploaded to the Council database as we speak. Free access for everyone.